Hi everybody, this is Kate. Well, as the other video that I promised, here it is. Uh, you'll see this in the background behind my head when I move, and I'll show you what I was doing earlier. I was like, see my little video camera there? I was over in the side room here, and I was doing the time warp dance. It was kind of cool, but anyway. What I was gonna tell you all from my last video was some of the questions that I've been asked, being transgender. Some of the questions that I was asked, I'm gonna post these on here and answer them for some people. Down at this center that I've been going to here in town, it's a LGBT center for gay and lesbians, and I started going there. It's been going on now for like 2 weeks. And I had a guy, they call him Mother Goose. Why? I have no idea. But this guy, he asked me this question, and before I can get an answer, it kind of just rubbed you the wrong way. But anyway, he asked me this question, and I dwelled on that for the entire week, and I just could not figure out what the appropriate answer would be. And his question was this: being the way I am, which is transgender, how does that work out for you? I don't know. I just didn't have an answer for that. And the thing that really gets to me is, it was one of those questions like my mind just went totally blank. And I just like, what in the world? What was the point of that type of question? Being transgender, what does that do for you? Let's see. I am full-time female. I work full-time on a job, and a lot of the guys that are straight, it takes them at least 2 to 3 months to figure me out. And I'll tell you right now, when I see that it takes them 2 to 3 months to figure me out, I am actually doing something right. And to where I am passing, and my goal was to actually pass as a female, and not to draw attention to myself, not to be this flamboyant person, but I want to blend in. And I think I've accomplished that very well. And but his question, like I said, it just baffled my mind, where he said, being transgender, how does that work for you? Well, I go swimming. I go down to the YWCA. I go swimming with the women, and I do the workouts and things like that with them. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if they cannot tell, I'm not going to say anything. Bad thing is, I have a bad habit. I smoke. Anyway, it's a bad habit, and I'm just trying to get off of it. And I'm trying to curb that appetite. But a lot of them, they do see me. I go out and I have a cigarette every now and then. I know it's bad, but I do have a cigarette every now and then, and they just think that, well, since my age, it's more of like a raspy voice and things like that, and I play it off that way. But the thing is, on some of these jobs, a lot of the women, they don't know either, and I'm just like a unicorn, where you've seen pictures of them, but what would you actually do if you met one? Don't know. Well, I do know, and the reactions they get is like, oh my gosh, they really do exist. It's like a Keebler elf. Anyway, I know I'm just acting a little silly here, but that was one of the questions. Like I said, it just baffled my mind. If somebody else can come up with something differently, let me know. The question is, being transgender, how does that work out for you? And like I said, if somebody else comes up with a different answer that's a little more complicated, less complicated, let me know. I mean, it just it's just one of those things that just kind of like baffles me. But what I did was, there was another thing where, uh, being transgender, I can see both sides of the fence. Where I know what a girl's after, I know what a guy's after. And sometimes a lot of the guys will come chasing me down, stuff like that, and oh, let me help you do this, or let me help you do that. And a lot of them, they don't know. And like I said, I am not going to tell them. I'll just let them make a fool out of themselves, and then when they really do figure out what I really am, then they feel really stupid. But these are things that, um, I get a big high off of that because, it helps build my confidence up. It helps build up my self-esteem that I'm actually doing something right that nobody can tell. But the other question that I had, but like I said, if somebody else has another answer, let me know. The other question I had, and this was a very lengthy conversation with a genetic female. She's married, but it was a very lengthy conversation. And, to her it seemed kind of weird that people like me, we do exist. But she just didn't quite understand where, how does that, how that works out for me. And, that I want to be a female. Even though I was born a male, that I want to be a female. And I told her, I said, in my mind, everybody's born with two different personalities. And I have, I might have one personality, I have one personality as a male, and I have another personality as a female. And I like nicer things. I like nice clothes. I like the, hair's nice and everything. And I like to look good wherever I go. I don't, like the typical male, want to go out and just put on one ratty t-shirt or, whatever, just to blend in with the rest of the crowd. I like to stand out just a little bit to show that I do have a little class. And, to me, this woman that I was talking to, she asked me, well, you're attracted to guys. And I said, no. I'm not really attracted to guys. I'm bisexual, but I'm not attracted to men. I'm attracted to men and females, men and women. And the thing is, I'm not more geared towards being with a guy, but if I find one that actually is appealing to me and accepts me for who I am and is very secure with himself, yeah, there may be something there. But if I come across somebody that's very insecure with themselves, sexually and mentally, that's not the person that I want to be around. I may talk to him, but that's about as far as it's ever going to go. And these are things right here that I look for in a partner. And the ones that I actually do run into around here, they are just, oh my gosh, they are just, just kind of like way out there. The world revolves around them. Don't revolve around me. I just like, I do go out, I do go shopping, I do go to the store, things like that. Everyday normal life things to help survive. And these, the women walk past me, they don't care. And I have more questions asked to me by genetic females than I do lesbians or gay males. I have more questions asked to me because, to me, a straight female is more curious about me or more curious about this lifestyle that I can ever imagine. I'm just so, a lot of times when they ask me a question, it's just, pretty much like off the wall, pretty much off the wall girl talk. And I'm really flattered a lot of times when they ask me these questions. And I don't tell them anything that's very sexual or very graphic, stuff like that. Um, I don't tell them about, oh, I was with this guy last night, or I was with this girl last night, and they did this wild thing, and this and that. No, I don't do that. They ask me certain questions, such as like, you know, what's the changes that I've gone through? What's my real goal? And things like that. What I've done, as far as where I've been at, that right there to me is very flattering. And the woman that I was speaking with last night, I mean, that was a lot of her questions, like where have I been at, what I've done, stuff like that. And I was very flattered, and I was very open to tell her. Now she's married, and one of my rules is this. I mean, if you're married or attached, I'll talk to you as a friend, but I will not cross that line to be a third wheel. Because if your relationship or your marriage fails, I don't want to be the cause of it. Because I do have a conscience and I do have morals. And those are things right there that I very strictly abide by. And honestly, that's why that's probably why I've been single for over 20 years now. Because a lot of guys, they think that I'm just they have just broke up with their girlfriend and I'm pretty much on the rebound, and I'm not that way. If you just broke up with your girlfriend, you still have feelings for her, and I'm not going to be somebody just to fill the void until you get your head out of your ass or your head on straight. But I would like to be with somebody that's actually secure with themselves and are that are that's going to walk alongside of me, not 10 feet in front, not 10 feet behind. And these are things right here that other people should do. Because honestly, when you meet somebody, and this is the way I think, honestly, I think the way you meet somebody is, I think the most interesting part about meeting somebody is actually getting to know them. And what I mean by getting to know them is not oh, I've been with you now a couple hours, let's go to bed. No, that's not the way it works. My way of thinking is I want to get to know you, where I like to know, what do you like? Where do you go? What's your favorite color? Stuff like this. I mean, stuff that they used to, believe it or not, if you think back to the, I want to say it's the early 70s, not quite sure, or late 60s, early 70s, the dating game. Or no, not the dating game, newlywed game. That was it. If you think back to that, to see how much the husband knows about the wife and how much the wife knows about the husband, I mean, these are things right here that I very much cherish, because I like to be with somebody that I actually know something about them. Like where they grew up, who was their best friend, what school did they go to, what was their town like, what was their parents like, things like that. And it's more interesting to me to find out little things about that person, and to me that keeps the spark going. But that was the conversation that I had with this woman last night, and I tell you what, she was so intrigued over that answer and the answers that I gave. And I believe it's, honestly, I think it'll help her relationship out too. Because even though they're married, and that's, I'll let you talk to whoever online and stuff. I think this right here, little tips and tricks, stuff like that, I think that'll help her out too. And it might help out you too. But I'm gonna get off here now, because I am now at 14 minutes and 12 seconds. And my limit here on YouTube is 15. So I will talk to you all later, and you have a very, very Merry Christmas.